Thanks to Valentine's Day, there are people giving away chocolates and cards, giving away flowers and cool little stuffed animals to tell people how much they love them. But what if you don't have a significant other when February 14th rolls around? Do you sulk in the corner? Do you watch romance movies on TV and dream that that's your life? Do you indulge in a good old-fashioned pity party? Or are you more like the fearless, hey, this is me type of person who takes yourself out to dinner or straight ignores the day altogether? Maybe you go hang out with friends because that's where you feel loved. And that's all good for adults, but what if you're a kid in elementary school, middle school, or a teen in high school, and all your peers around you are buzzing and buzzing about the greatness of Valentine's Day and having a significant other to spend it with? How do you make sure your kids don't get caught up in the Valentine's Day hype and ensure them that they are loved, special, important, and valued? Our family tradition was to have a super fancy and elegant love dinner. Come and see. J-Don Mom here, grown mom with grown kids. Every week I share a vlog of my life as a MOYA, a mother of young adults, as well as flashback videos like this one here, where I talk about traditions our family had, as well as things I've learned over 3 decades of raising 6 kids. Today I'm sharing about our family tradition of having an elegant and special dinner together to share and celebrate Valentine's Day. So how do we go about it? The first thing we did was talk to the kids about love, to define what it means to us, not let the world define it. Because there's lots of different kinds of love, and a lot of time it seems that romantic love is the only one that we ever talk about. And kids just aren't there yet, and I'm okay with that. How about you, moms? Anyway, there's family love, which is the strongest kind. It's bonds of family love together. And the kids know about that from birth on up. Then there's friendship love. They get to meet friends that they really grow close to, those friends to the end. Then there's romantic love, which, yeah, you know, they're trying, but we need to help guide them with this so that they can, navigate that whole area in a very, very careful way. But needless to say, with Valentine's Day, it's all about romance and kissing and hugging and all of this stuff. Well, you know what? Families can show love too. And that's what we did. After setting the stage as to what love really is, then you gotta set a date. Usually it's right around Valentine's Day. For us, like the weekend right before. We would give out jobs for the kids. We actually had a job chart where it rotated and the kids had jobs to do, so they learned how to do all these different things. And I will do a future video on that with the job chart and rotations and responsibility and all of that. Great stuff. But for this, we did have a cook helper was one of the jobs, and like a table setter. So we would engage these kids in getting ready for the love dinner. Also make sure we set the menu. What exactly are we gonna eat?
Hey, we did it every year, so we knew it was coming. So it was always like this cool, calm dinner.
We anticipated it. It was pretty cool.
We anticipated it.
And the
so
food was always banging. The food was always good though.
Make sure you get to the store, get all the ingredients. And don't forget to get the amazing things on the side, like the decorations, the flowers. What are you going to use for your centerpiece? And make sure you have all these amazing things to set up to make the dinner look elegant. Before you know it, the day arrives.
I remember doing a dinner, big dinner with charger plates, and we did multiple courses. We had little, sparkling cider with the little fancy glasses. And it was like we had candles, like all fancy and different than our normal family dinner.
Kai, do you remember anything about Valentine's Day?
She said it all.
Do you remember the music we used to play?
No.
Does anybody remember the music?
Soft soul music.
I remember, please let me go.
Feliz Navidad.
I like big butts, and I can't lie.
That's Louis Armstrong.
Cut that out! Cut that out!
So we've got to get the table set. We use chargers to frame the plates on the table. We use place cards. So you can even have your children write out the names of each family member if they're able to, or you can help them, or they can decorate them. So you have place cards to set next to each plate to say where everyone is going to sit. The napkins are folded in a special way. Of course, when they were little, we just kind of folded them in a triangle. Then it gets a little bit more detailed with a little pocket to put the fork in. Ooh. And then you can check online nowadays and find these cool napkin folding ideas. This is the chosen fork. The kids always used to pick this fork because I liked the way the bottom was. It was chosen. The centerpiece is a big deal. Get something lovely for the center of the table, but don't let it be too big because you want to be able to see each other. Eye contact during this mature conversation will be important. For us, I often used a bowl with water and floated candles in it, and we'd light the candles and they'd float in it with maybe some flower petals or different things that you could put confetti or things to make it look pretty. Often we'd color the water with food coloring, and it was awesome. And then for the plates, we'd use our best glass plates, and we'd use wine glasses. Though we didn't drink wine in it, but still, we'd use the wine glasses with the stems, because what kid doesn't want to drink out of a wine glass with a stem? So what if there's juice in there or soda? Just drinking out of it makes you feel so grown up and elegant, doesn't it? We'd make sure we had a lovely pitcher that we'd use to refill the drinks with, and that would be set out on the table. And use ramekins or dressing boats or things like that on the table so that people could serve themselves little condiments during the meal. Next, music and candles. Make sure there are candles around the room as part of the decoration. Like I said, we floated our candles in the centerpiece a lot. You could also use candlesticks on the table or different variations to give the ambiance. That and the music really set the stage for an elegant, peaceful, high-end meal. The music we used, we seemed to use the same music all the time. And it was...
I remember the music, Kenny G.
Didn't even know it was Kenny G.
I remember listening to Kenny G when we was right before the Valentine dinner together, all of us. Kenny G would be playing in the background.
I distinctly remember I was doing something. Somebody was talking about, oh, you guys know Kenny G. And it just registered. I said, Kenny G? Who is this?
In terms of serving the meal, there are so many options. Choose what works for your family. For us, one of the children was a host, and as everyone came down to dinner, that child would walk them to their seat and pull out the chair and let them sit in front of their place card. And then that child would help to serve out the meals and take away the old plate and put up the new plate for each course of the meal. We'd always have at least a 3-course dinner, sometimes 4, depending on, what we were eating that night.
Yeah, we had a lot of different courses though. Not like regular dinner. We had like 2 or 3 courses, so that was cool.
That was pretty cool.
And I'm pretty sure, 1 or 2 years it didn't work out the right way, but I know Mom tried her hardest to, make sure she implemented it every year, so it was cool.
So we'd start with an appetizer of some kind, maybe bread and butter, or rolls, or, some other kind of appetizer just to get things started as we prepared the plates for our meals. So that would be something they could start with as they talked about different things and had some great table conversation. It was really nice. While they were enjoying their appetizers, we would have soup and or salad. Sometimes it was 2 separate courses. Sometimes it was one or the other. The entrees were prepared in the kitchen with garnishes, whether we used sprigs of different herbs or slices of fruit or whatever to give it some color and some flair so the plate looked really pretty. Those were served out to each of the members of the family. No, please pass the green beans. None of that. These plates were prepared and ready to look at and enjoy. The salad plates were cleared away and the entrees were served. When the entrees were finished, they were cleared away and table conversation continued a little bit. The mood was just enjoyable and we were enjoying each other's company, the music in the background, the candles. It was just a lovely environment. After we sat a little bit and kind of got ready, dessert was served, and the dessert presentation was also part of the whole experience. For us, we loved having chocolate lava cakes with ice cream. Yum. Oh yeah, my kids remember that. Yeah, they do. After the meal was complete, everyone would be excused from the table and just kind of migrate to the living room or something and lounge around and continue talking or whatever. We kind of leave the table alone for a little bit to allow people to just enjoy the experience, let it linger and just continue talking or just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I think the thing that, one word that describes it was unique. That's probably the word for me. It was unique. It was just something that we all did that you can like kind of take with you. I don't know, it's kind of cool.
The one word for me would be lovely. That's just kind of the feeling that you get when we're hanging out together and just kind of letting the music just take over and, every now and then, share some things and stuff like that.
Eventually, though, within the half an hour, it was time to clean up. So whoever the table clearers were would go and start cleaning up and, the rest of it was typical, clean the dishes, put everything back. If you're liking this idea and liking this video, maybe you want to start a tradition in your family. Leave your comments below and let us know what you've done, what you might like to do, and if you tried this tradition, go ahead and share some of how that went for you. Well, these love dinners were so enjoyable and peaceful, and the kids weren't, being silly or engaging in all this foolishness. It was just a nice environment where the elegance of it all made the kids want to dress up a little bit and sit up a little straighter and try to be more mature. It was really a nice standard to set so that the kids know, what is it like to have a romantic dinner, or what is it like to go to a high-end restaurant and be served. So this is something they would have experience with. As they get older, they can always think back to that.
Valentine's dinner. Honestly, I think it was really cool. I think now that I'm older, it makes sense to have like that setting that you want to teach your kids and stuff. It's kind of cool.
So see, you don't have to have a significant other to enjoy a Valentine's Day meal and to enjoy the feeling of being loved. So seize the moments to tell those people that you love them. J. Dawn Mom here. See you soon. Iggsy.